Hi, I'm Elle, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna try to learn latte art. Coffee is a huge part of my life. I like making it, I like drinking it, I like going to get it, I like sitting in coffee shops. I've traveled across the country to go to Starbucks reserves, like it's my thing. Teenage girls say they like coffee. I love coffee. And I've learned to make a bunch of drinks. We have an espresso machine. My mom was a barista, and so it's kind of like a thing in my family. But one thing none of us have done is latte art. And if you watched my video, like 20 things I want to do this year, learning latte art is one of those things. And it's like late February, so I think we should get a move on it. So today we are gonna pull up a very basic tutorial and try to do it. So we have a little station set up. We have the machine. We have some cups that have like the open, like big wide top so that you can like actually do the art. We have a towel for any spills. We have an iPad to watch the tutorial, and we have milk and frothing cups. So I'm gonna hop onto YouTube and just look up like basic latte art for like very, very beginners. So these are the videos that popped up. I think this one and this one is gonna be really helpful because milk pouring is important in like the slow-mo, so you can watch it step by step. So I'm gonna watch these and then I'll check back in with you guys. So I just finished watching some tutorial videos, and I'm gonna start with a heart, which is one of the three easiest shapes to make. The easiest are a heart, a rosetta, and a tulip. And the tutorial I have is a heart. So it's hitting me how hard it's gonna be to like film myself making coffee, but we're just gonna roll with it. And we are gonna start by pulling a shot of espresso. So I'm frothing the first round of milk, and I need to get it to 160 degrees. I just put some air in, which is gonna give it a good texture. You can kind of see it on top-ish. Well, see how it's a little foamier. I'm not a professional, but I think it looks pretty good. I also saw somewhere that it's good to like let it whirlpool a little bit, so we're working on that. We have our first round of stuff poured, and now I have to make what they said is like the creamer base, which needs to be like this black color up until it's about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want to see any white, and if you see white, they just said to pour over it. So I'm gonna try to show you. I can still see a little white where I could have done better, but I think it's a pretty good first try. And now we're gonna rewind the video and try to do the heart. So round one is done. I failed. This is what it looks like. You can see that white part is the kind of foam that is supposed to make the heart. And I just had too much milk. So we're gonna adjust and try again. Because I overdid the milk last time, I have this 8-ounce IKEA cup with like this 2-ounce-ish measuring cup. So together it's 10 ounces, and hopefully it'll balance better and I can get a better foam. This one is definitely, it's a really pretty latte. Like if I was served that, I'd be excited because like the foam just looks so good. Like you could eat it with a spoon. It's definitely not latte art. So I'm gonna try a handful of times off camera. I'll take pictures for you guys as I go, and then we'll touch base. This is attempt number 3. I think my milk is definitely too like foamy, like bubbly. It tastes really good. Like if I was gonna drink a latte, I like it that way, but it's not the right kind of milk to make the art. But because it's my favorite kind of latte to drink, we're gonna do a taste test. So cheers. That's really good. After attempt number 3, I definitely think that like 4 to 5 ounces of milk is the way to go because it expands, plus the 2 ounces that the shot add in the little mug. So I'm gonna try, I usually add a ton of air into my milk to make it frothy, but since that's not exactly what I'm going for, I'm gonna add way less air this time and see how it goes. Round 4, total bust. So I just rinsed out the mugs for my first 4 attempts, and I have a couple things that I want to adjust. One, I think I need to look up what's the right temperature for like latte art milk. I've always been taught to make a latte at 160 degrees, but maybe it's different. 2, how many seconds should like I let the air come in from like the little straw thing? I don't know the correct terminology, so if you're a barista, don't come for me, please. And hopefully those things combined will help me texture the milk better. So I'm gonna put my first 4 attempts on the screen, like on the sides of me here, and let's move forward and hopefully improve. So I just got done watching a video about how to properly texture milk from How To. I'm actually gonna link the videos that I've been using down below if you wanna check them out after watching this video. And I wrote down a few tips to hopefully help me moving forward. So 1, I learned that my milk has been way too hot. I was putting it at 160 degrees. I need it at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So 1, we're gonna adjust that. 2, I learned for better aeration, I should have the wand that is steaming the milk slightly off center, kind of making a whirlpool, and that I should only let the air in for a few seconds or it'll get too bubbly. And 3, I didn't catch that you should purge the wand after each use. So with those tips in mind, let's move on to round 5. So we have a nice whirlpool going here, but I think I might have too many bubbles. We will see. Okay, so update, the bubbles are breaking down and it just has a nice swirl going. So I think my milk has that marshmallow fluff layer they were talking about, and I'm hoping for the best. This isn't necessarily the best thing to do, but I think I'm gonna have to pour out some of my excess milk so that I don't have too much milk in the latte. So unfortunately, I messed up my first shot and I think I waited too long and messed up the milk. So it was kind of a bust. I'll show you anyway, but we are gonna try again because I think how I was doing it was starting to work. And there's number 5. I have made to the point of this that I'm annoyed. I couldn't get like the thing to lock to pour the espresso. And then I spilled some of the shot on myself and I burnt my finger. So then I dropped it and spilt this whole thing. I have some really pretty milk and it might be bad by the time I clean all this up. Nevertheless, we're trying to persevere. So again, because I had to wait too long to get the milk going, 6 was also a bust. I think part of the problem that I'm having is I really not need, but I think it would be easier with that smaller jug that I don't have right now, because the milk is supposed to fill to right under the spout. And if I was making just a big batch of lattes, that would be easy. But because I'm focusing on these little cups, it's hard to not have to pour out milk. But then you also don't want to have too little milk because then it gets too bubbly and it's a weird combo. So that's kind of difficult. For number 7, I've realized that a lot of my issues have been with not getting the shots in fast enough. So I'm gonna actually make the shot first and then put it in with a little bit of water in the cups so it doesn't go flat, but then I also can take my time making the milk. So, okay, round 7 foam is definitely the best foam I've gotten in a while. I was able to write with it a little bit and I wasn't able to finish the heart because it was a little bit too bubbly, but I think we're getting on a better track. So you can kind of see the little bumps. I made a foam like this for attempt 2, but it wasn't as loose, so I think I'm making progress. So unfortunately at the end, when the water sprays, I got some bubbles in, so I don't think this one's gonna do as well, but we'll see. So if you look close, you can definitely see where too many bubbles are, but it also has I can see it off the camera, it has that different weight texture of foams. Again, I am making progress. So with these 4 lattes, I've definitely improved from the first 4 lattes, and now we're gonna dump them and go for 9 through 12. Okay, so it's spilled everywhere, but if you look at the top, this is definitely more of the texture that I've been going for. The texture is a little bit looser. It's not as dense and foamy, but it's not too milky. I think if I can achieve that again by using less milk or pouring out some of the milk first, I will have a better shot at being able to make a shape. So as much as I'd like to keep going with this all day, I have to get my brother from school in 20 minutes, so I have to wrap up filming this video. But I thought I would end with a 10th attempt showing you guys how I have been able to get the best textured milk thus far. I haven't been able to make any art, but I think it turns into a pretty good latte, so let's go with it. I've been starting by taking my cup and putting a little bit of water in it. Then I set my water off to the side and pull my shot. Then I take the shot and I pour it into the cup and then put the cup off to the side because I will not be needing it for the next few minutes. Okay, now that my shot's waiting over there, I take my jug and I fill it up to about here with milk. This is arguably the hardest part to film because I have to focus on the spout and making the whirlpool, and I don't have a third hand to hold the camera, but I'll do my best to get some shots. So the jug is kind of balanced on the espresso machine here so that I can focus on off-centering that and turning this on. I can't really film the milk heating process, but I like to froth it to 130 degrees. I start by having it kind of angled to the side with the wand off-centered, and then I let the air come in to make the microfilm for 3 seconds. Then I have it just below surface level, hold it at an angle till 130 degrees, and then I tap it and pour. See how the foam kind of looks like marshmallow fluff? I heard that that's how it's supposed to look, so I'm hoping mine is right. Now we are on to the fun part. I'm gonna give it one more final tap and a swirl, and then I'm gonna start by kind of making the base by holding the milk up very high, tilting the cup, and kind of just swirling over. I'm gonna pour some into this cup because I have a ton of excess milk. Okay, so I got out all the excess that I want, and now I'm gonna pour. This is where you get a little bit closer and you just kind of circle the milk, and you can pour it a little bit faster now. And then when you get towards the end, you kind of just, here comes my foam. So it's no latte art, it's no heart, but I think it's a pretty nice standard latte and it looks pretty. And now for a taste test, I'd say cheers and kind of point it at you, but then it would spill. That's pretty good. Okay, so after that experience, I have 3 big takeaways. 1, when pouring the milk, start high and slow, and then as you get closer to detail, make it closer, faster, and kind of zigzag for detail. 2, use a smaller jug. Mine was way too big and kind of harder to work with for me, especially as a beginner because of this. And number 3, make your shot first. Pull it, put it with some water, and put it off to the side. Don't worry about it while you're making your milk. If you want to watch the videos that I use to learn my basics, I would love to link them down below for you, so check them out. And finally, thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video for joining along in the beginning of my latte art journey. I'll post a video maybe once every other month or every month to kind of keep you guys updated, as it is one of my goals for this year. And I think now that I kind of have my texture of my milk down, I can progress faster. If you want to see a coffee related video from me again now, I actually went to the biggest Starbucks in the world, the Chicago Starbucks Grocery Reserve, earlier this month. I made a video about it and it'll be on one of these sides in the iCard. Again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I would love if you'd consider subscribing with the button down below. My goal is to hit 500 this year, and I know that's kind of steep, but we can do it, right? And I will see you in my next video Wednesday. Bye.